Hello and welcome to Statistics. I'm your instructor Scott Daugherty, and in this video I'm just going to give you a brief overview into my math lab. So let's talk about these buttons on the left hand side. The first button here is the course home button. When you click on it, it'll pull up this calendar. Now this is the month of February, and you can see that you have these different icons on these different days. This icon indicates that there's been an announcement posted on this date. If you click on the icon, it'll pull up the announcement. I'll be posting announcements throughout the course, so you should check for those on a regular basis at this calendar. Now, when I send out an announcement, I also send it to your email address that you posted in my math lab, so you can also just check your email as well. This indicates that the orientation quiz is due by February 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. All times in my math lab are in Eastern Time, so this is actually 10:59 p.m. Central Time. You do have to take the orientation quiz before this date. If you fail to do that, I'll have to drop you from the class. So make sure you do that. In fact, that's your first assignment, is to take that orientation quiz. Now, if you go into the month of March, you can see on March 6th, this indicates that there's a test due that day. That's our first exam. It's due March 6th. By 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you want, you can scroll through different months. This is the month of March. The second test is due March 27th by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. The third test is due April 17th. And then the fourth test will be due May 8th. You can see that you've got all these little circles. These are the due dates for the homework. All the homework is due by May 13th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you click on this, you can see all the different homework assignments that you have to do for the class. They're all due last day of class, which is May 13th. Okay, if you click on this button, this will pull up any announcements that I've posted. So you can also check here for the announcements. This is the orientation video that you're watching now. This is an orientation document which you should read through. But let me go over some of the high points of this document. Again, as I mentioned before, you must take the orientation quiz before February 23rd or you'll be dropped from the class. So make sure you do that. I'll let you read through the rest of this. This just goes over each of the buttons that I'm talking about in this video in a little more detail. In terms of contacting me, this is my cell phone number. This is probably the best way to contact me via phone. You can send me a text message or you can call me at this number. I also have an office phone number, but I won't be in my office that much this semester because of the COVID crisis. So if you need to talk to me on the phone, you should call this my cell phone number. This is my email address, so you can contact me via email as well. Now, a TI-84 calculator is required for this class. You could also use a TI-83 calculator if you happen to have one of those, but you need one or the other for this class, so make sure you get one of those calculators. Okay, the only other thing I want to mention in this document is I want to talk about the testing. Tests will be taken online in my math lab at your home without a proctor. So we won't be using testing centers this semester. Now when you click on the test, and I'll show you how to do that, it's going to pull up this little window and you'll have to enter in the password. And so the passwords for the tests are given here, including the final exam. So you'll just have to enter in the password before you actually start taking the test. Okay, so again, I'm just going to let you read through the rest of this document. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. So let's talk about the homework. This is where you'll pull up the homework. Again, you can see the due date over here. And if you pull up one of the assignments, it'll show you how many questions there are. And when you click on one of these questions, you'll see that it will have this question help button on the right hand side. And if you click on it, it has these various options you can use. The Help Me Solve This button will go through step by step and help you solve this particular problem. If you click on View an Example, it'll pull up a problem that's very similar to this one and actually go through each step at a time. This will pull up the section in the textbook that's related to this problem in case you want to read over that. We won't use StatCrunch this semester, so you can ignore this. Tech Help, that'll pull up this little window where you can look into different technologies that you can use to solve this particular problem. The one we're going to be using is the TIA 84 and 83 graphing calculator. So you can click on this to learn how to use the calculator. We're not going to be using Excel, Minitab, SPSS, or any of these other features here. So you'll probably be using this calculator feature the most. If you click on the Ask My Instructor button, you can send me an email along with the problem that you're working on. So you can ask me a specific question about the problem, and I'll be able to read the problem in the email that you send me. And usually I can respond to your emails within a few hours, unless it's really late at night, and then it'll probably be sometime early the next day. And of course, if you want to print out the problem, you can print it out right here. Okay, so let's talk about the Quizzes and Tests button. When you pull this up, this is the place where you'll be able to take the orientation quiz. Notice you get an unlimited number of attempts on that quiz. Then you can also pull up the exams. Now notice for each exam there's a practice exam, so you should take the practice exam before you actually take the exam itself. Notice you have an unlimited number of attempts for the practice exams, and there's no time limit on them. The exams do have time limits on them. So each of these tests are 120 minutes long. And then you can also pull up the practice final exam here, and then the actual final exam, which has a time limit of 180 minutes. And notice on the tests, you just get one attempt each. So for each of the tests, you have one attempt. And when you pull it up, like I mentioned, you'll have this window and you'll have to put in the password here. Okay, so let's talk about the syllabus. So I'll let you read through most of this, but let me just mention a couple of things. This, of course, is the access code that or the course ID that you had to put in to get into my math lab. This is my office phone number, in case you want to try to contact me at my office. Again, that's my email address. This is my office location, F340. Now, to register for my math lab, if you haven't done that already, you want to go to this website, click on the Register as a Student button, and then you'll have to enter in the course ID. This is the course ID. And then you'll have to either get temporary access or you'll have to pay for it using a credit card or PayPal. If you get temporary access, you'll be able to use my math lab for a couple of weeks without having to pay for it. But if you don't pay for it in that time period, you'll be denied access to my math lab. None of the work that you've done will be lost. You just won't have access to it until you actually pay for my math lab. If you have any technical issues with my math lab, you can click on this link in the syllabus. Now, in terms of your grade, homework will be 20%. The homework in my math lab, that's worth 20% of your grade. The 4 exams are worth 60% of your grade. And then the final exam, which is comprehensive, so it covers everything in the class, is worth 20% of your grade as well. And then we use the 10-point grading scale for your letter grade. The last day you can withdraw from the course is April 19th. And as I've mentioned several times, you must take the orientation quiz before February 23rd, or you'll be dropped from the class. One additional thing here is if you fall more than 2 weeks behind the course calendar, I can also drop you from the class for not participating in the class. So make sure you don't fall behind more than 2 weeks on the course calendar. Okay, I'll let you read through the rest of this. There's lots of good information here in case you need it. And if you have any questions about the syllabus, just let me know. Okay, here's the course calendar. Now, the way the course calendar works is these are the sections in the homework. And these are kind of suggested due dates for completing the homework on these days. Remember, the homework is technically not due until the end of the semester in my math lab. So if you don't finish it by this particular day, you can continue to work on it afterwards. But it would be a good idea to get all this homework done before the test. So you can see the first test is due March 6th. And so it'd be good if you got all the homework done for chapters 1, 2, and 3, and 4 before test 1. And then you can see I have a suggested date for doing the practice test. So these are all suggested dates. Okay, they're kind of like guidelines for doing the homework and the practice test. But the test here is actually a hard due date. So it's actually due by March 6th, the end of that day. Okay, so that's the way this calendar works. The second test is due March 27th. It's over chapters 5 and 6. These are the suggested dates for doing the homework. And then this is the suggested date for doing the practice test. The third test is over chapters 7 and 8. These are the suggested dates for doing the homework and the practice test. Again, this is the last day you can withdraw from the class. The fourth test is due May 8th over chapter 9, 10, and 11. And these are the suggested dates for doing the homework and the practice test. And then the final exam is due before the last day of class, which is May 11th. And this is the suggested date for working on the practice final. Okay, so this is a good guide for you to keep up with the course material. Okay, but again, the test dates are the hard due dates. You must complete the tests by those days. This additional videos button, these are some YouTube videos that I pulled up by topic. These are all optional. I'll show you the videos that you're going to be watching before you work on the homework. That's located in a different section. So this is kind of an optional section where if you want some additional help on a certain topic, you could look at one of these videos from YouTube. This is the textbook. It's broken down by chapter, so you can look at that. Now you don't have to buy a hard copy of the textbook because this electronic book is an exact copy of that textbook. This is a formulas and table sheet. I'll let you read through this. It's broken down by chapter. It's got all the formulas and tables that we will use throughout the course. This has the testing center hours, but we're not going to be using the testing center this semester, so you can ignore that button. And then this is the gradebook button where you can check your grade. If you click on this show calculation up here, it'll break down your homework by homework, test, and then it says quiz, but this is actually the final exam. I put the final exam under the quiz category. You can see the homework is worth 20 points. The final exam is worth 20 points, and then the tests are worth 60 points. And this will tell you how many points that you've earned out of those. And then they add these up, and this is your total number of points here. Okay, the orientation quiz is not graded. So again, this is not the orientation quiz. This is the actual final exam. I wanted to put it in a different category from test, and the only other option was a quiz. So this is actually the final exam. The orientation quiz is not part of your grade, but you do have to take it in order to remain in the class. Okay, and if you look down here, it'll show you what you've made on each individual assignment. Okay, now let's talk about the Multimedia Library button. You can pull up various things in this area, and you can search for them by chapter and section. Probably the most important thing here is the section video lectures. Let's say you're going to work on Chapter 1 homework. And you can start with the first section, 1.1. You can find all the section video lectures for that section. There are 2 of them. And so the way this is going to work is before you start doing the homework from section 1.1, you should watch these section video lectures. You should also look for technology videos as well. In this case, there aren't any, right? I pulled up both of the technology videos and the section video lectures, and there are no technology videos for this section. But you should watch the technology videos if there are any. So for example, if you're doing, let's say, something in Chapter 3, and I search for the videos and the technology videos and the section video lectures, this is the section video. All right, let me try this one. I'm trying to pull up the technology videos. Sometimes you'll get these technology videos, right? So this is section 3.3. This is the section video lecture, and these are the technology videos. Now again, you can ignore Excel and StatDisk because we're not using them in this class. But you do want to watch the video on the TI-83 or 84 graphing calculator. Okay, so you want to watch this video when you get to this section. Okay, and then after you watch the videos, right, the section video lectures and the technology videos, then you can start working on the homework for that section. Okay, last thing here is the Tools for Success button. There's probably not a lot here that you're going to need. You do have this review card for the graphing calculator, so this is a nice little summary of all the different things we use for the calculator. And it actually shows you step by step which button to press to do certain things. Like if you want to create a histogram, this will explain every button you need to press to make a histogram, or a box plot, or a scatter plot. Okay, so this is a useful reference for the calculator. There's also this review card for the course itself, which will break down all the formulas that we use in the class by topic. So this is a useful reference for the formulas. Okay, we're not going to be using StatCrunch or any of the data sets or StatDisk. The only other thing here that you might be interested in is you have these technology manuals. There is one for the graphing calculator. So if you want to look at the manual for a graphing calculator, you can click on that. And then these are the technology videos that you'll see in the homework. So you can pull up the TI-83 or 84 graphing calculator tutorial videos here as well. Then you might want to look at the study card. It breaks it down. Oh no, it doesn't have the graphing calculator here, so we're not using Excel or Minitab. So you don't need to look at this study card for this technology card. Okay, you want to use this one up here, the graphing calculator review card. That's the one that refers to the graphing calculator. Okay, so that's just kind of a brief overview of all the buttons in my math lab. If you have any questions about anything, just let me know. Again, your first assignment is to take the orientation quiz. Make sure you do that before February 23rd. And then after you do that, you should go ahead and start working on the homework from Chapter 1. First, watch the videos under that Multimedia Library button, and then you can start working on the homework from Chapter 1. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, just let me know. Okay, so I hope you have a great semester. Make sure you contact me if you need any help or have any questions about anything. Okay, and have a good day. Bye bye.